James Stadium. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Well, kind of a quirk in the schedule. These two division rivals didn't see each other much of the year. Their first meeting was just a few weeks ago, back in Week 14. And it was the visiting Bucs who came away victorious, so they'll look to claim the season series with a win here in Tampa. Looking to throw on second down. Samuel. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. The Bucs at 11-3 on the year. Well, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So, you know, they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that. And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's second down.
This defense for the Saints, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double-team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Chris Godwin, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bucs are on the board first here this afternoon. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run in the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the top speed he attained there, according to Next Gen Stats, 21.3 miles per hour. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Hands it off out of the gun, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Tua. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year, and that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Now, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that will bounce out of bounds before they can get a return going.
Talk about angling that one perfectly, partner. We know the ball can bounce anywhere, especially how it's shaped. But that one, as if on cue, goes out of bounds perfectly.
Perfect indeed, right at the 1-yard line. Excellent coffin corner punt. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And the stakes in this game, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Will Lutz on for the point after. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
To throw on 2nd down, Samuel. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 2 yards on the pickup there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. Operating from the gun, Samuel. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Operating from the gun, Samuel. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead.
Partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
Here's a hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, my friend, this has certainly been a comedy of errors here in the first quarter. Neither side able to really hang on to the ball.
Yeah, now I'm just curious to see which team can adjust because both have made their mistakes, as you said.
Yeah, and whoever can do that can seize firm control of this game, something they haven't done with the ball so far.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Samuel. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down. Back to throw. Samuel. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And this late season game, of course, not lacking for drama when you talk about the AFC playoff picture.
Yeah, in a sense, it's the haves versus the have-nots, because this group on offense, they'd be a wild card if the postseason started today, but they know the guys on the other side of the ball are still in that dreaded in-the-hunt category, and they're hungry for a win today.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete, and they're going to get this up to midfield.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Samuel. Looking left side, and it's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 36. Again, he'll drop to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Back to throw. Samuel. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Chris Barnes. And the Saints are going to get the football here at their own 23. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
Ready. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Now a hit and a loose football. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a safe touchdown. Lutz will look to add the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7.
Makes the score Saints 21, Buccaneers 7.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Taking it about the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
He's got a man complete. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 43 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further. Operating from the gun, Samuel. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Great defense there on third and goal. They took away everything. Forced him to fire that one to the sideline where no one could get it.
And his kick is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Good push up front, and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott to about the 33-yard line.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On play action, here's Tua. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Tua. He'll get this complete to Kadarius Toney. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. He's already put it on the ground once in this first half. There, no gain, just struggling to get going.
Yeah, and what he needs right now, a dose of confidence, which means his guys have to chop a hole, a big one for him, give him a chance to run a little bit and gain some of that confidence back. He didn't get it on that carry.
Throwing on 2nd down, Tua. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 37. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's able to push his way forward somehow for a gain of about 2 yards. 2nd down now. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Come on, set.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Tua sets up to pass it. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 20-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Defensively, they came into the game with the understanding they're going to have to slow him down on passes just like this because he was over 100 yards receiving a week ago. And you know they want to get him involved here as well.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On second down and 4, Tua. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on the flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
Here we go. The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So on 4th down, on comes Saints kicker Will Lutz. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. The kick by Lutz is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me the pressure gets there and Tua is going to be taken down. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka showcasing the pass rush. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, in the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Rolling to his left. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now it's 3rd and 3. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. That one goes for 8 yards.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Ready? Right back to him on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Let's go. 2nd down and 8. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Tua hit, and the ball is out. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number 1, because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now it's down to a 1-score game.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 50 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. No gain on the play there, second down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Looking to throw on second down. Tua. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. Touchdown, New Orleans. Chris Olave, 48 yards. And the Saints go up by 2 touchdowns. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead now up to 14.
Score Saints 31, Buccaneers 17.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6th one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Tua going to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Dallas Goedert, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Saints have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. Taking it about the 1. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Bucs take over first down 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Here's Tressway now as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This offense on 3rd down today, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. And some room to maneuver. There he goes, left side. 30, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Lutz with the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with it. Down the numbers. There he goes. Past the 20. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. A big play there. With his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bucs get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Point after. after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. This is taken just shy of the 10. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Here we go. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
On 2nd and 11 now. Tua. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he's got some space here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 182 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football, because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Ready.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now they'll run on the draw. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there, with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Saints are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Well, we have seen the stiff arm get a bit of renaissance here in recent seasons, and that was pure strength there as he forced his way into the end zone.
And when you think of guys who use the stiff arm so effectively, I go back to guys like Earl Campbell, Walter Payton, some recent guys like Marshawn Lynch. Let's go to the Wayback Machine. Bronco Nagurski, he dealt out a wicked stiff arm.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9. The defense was ready for the run-pass option, diagnosed it perfectly.
Not only did they stack him up at the point of attack, but he was met by a host of light-colored jerseys.
To throw on third down, Samuel. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this is picked up by the Saints.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Okay, right.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Here we go.
7 yards left for second down. Ball at the 10.
Check right. Ready.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On third down, Elliott. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Will Lutz now to try the New Orleans field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. On 1st and 10, Samuel. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Samuel. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 32-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards. With this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Saints. The 40. The 20. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for New Orleans, the win moves them to 8-7 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, it's a loss that could wind up hurting a little as they fall now to 11-4.